Welcome to Cooking with Bruce. Today we're going to be going over to how to make homemade fermented hot sauce. It's really easy to do, just takes a little bit of time. We're going to go exactly through how to make this stuff step by step. Fermenting hot sauce might sound like something complex, but in reality it's not. What we have here are just some peppers. I've got 2.5 pounds of Anaheim peppers that aren't very spicy at all. 2.5 pounds of jalapeños. A little spicy, but really what happens is the fermentation process, it kills a lot of the capsaicin, so it's not nearly as hot. This will be a quite mild sauce. I've got 6 whole garlics we're going to put in there. You could use 2 cloves if you want. Again, I'm in the theory of you can't put too much garlic in things, and we're still going to test that theory. 1 onion. 9 tablespoons of sugar. 9 tablespoons of salt. We're going to cut all of this stuff up and put it in a fermentation bucket and let it go for about a month. Now, if you don't have a fermentation bucket, any container will work as long as at least once a day you burp it. Let the CO2 escape out because it's going to be building a little pressure. This has a little one-way valve on it, so it's a little bit of a specialized equipment, but you don't have to have this in order to make this hot sauce. So to start things off with, we're going to start cutting some peppers. All right, so I still have onions and garlic to do, but I'm going to put these peppers to the side real quick. Next up, we need a whole bunch of garlic. Again, more is better for this. Garlic crunching time. All right, I got the last 3 to go, and then we'll start cutting the onion, and we're almost there. So, boy, that's a lot of garlic. I didn't realize how much effort that would take, but you know what? In the end, it is worth it. You're gonna let this stuff sit for a month and make some really funky hot sauce out of it. Also, you know, it's got probiotics in it, I guess, so it's good for you. And I find it works on, well, almost anything. Eggs are perfect with it, any kind of pizza, pasta. If you want to make like a little salad with some funky spice to it, I mean, it makes a great dressing. All right, done with the garlic. Last thing we're gonna add, an onion, and then we're done chopping things. And you really don't need anything special here, just gonna chunk it up, because it's just going to ferment with everything else. And in the end, we're going to put this into a blender and grind it up into a sauce. So again, real kind of hands-off stuff here. A little bit of upfront work, but in the end, again, it's worth it. Gotta get this onion chunked. All right. Chunk, chunk, chunk. Add that. Chunk, 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 chunk. Add that. Oops. All right, let's start the fermentation process. All right, now it's time to start to combine everything we've done and make some fermented peppers. So first we're going to add 2 cups of hot water. We're going to dissolve the 9 tablespoons of sugar and the 9 tablespoons of salt. So we've got hot water in there. We're just gonna mix it around a little bit, get it all incorporated. Just takes a second. All right, so we've got things incorporated. And now it's time to add all the peppers. Let's just do this first. It's a little full. So we have all the peppers in there. We have the garlic. We have the salt, the sugar dissolved, and now we're just gonna top this off with water and give it a little mix. All right, so we want to make sure you have enough water for everything in here to be fully submerged. Give it a little bit of a stir, just to make sure we have everything incorporated. Give it a little push down to get everything under the water, or the brine now. All right, so we put in all the peppers, all the salt, all the sugar, garlic and onions. Make sure they had all the vegetation submerged in the brine solution we made. And now, I'm just gonna put this in a warm, in a warm place in the house, let it sit for about 2 weeks, and we're gonna take a look at it. This can take, it'll be ready in 2 weeks, but you can let it sit in here for up to a month or two if you like more funky sauce. But we'll make a judge of that whenever we check it out in 2 weeks. See you guys then. All right, welcome back to Cooking with Bruce. We're gonna take a 2-week checkup on the fermented peppers. So, whenever you do fermented peppers, it's gonna look a little bit different than what you expect. Don't be afraid of what's happening in here, it's safe. We're gonna get a bird's eye view of what's going on. Ooh, I can smell the funkiness. Guys, check this out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom, let's go. What you have here is fermentation going on. You see the bubbles around here? That's bubbles of carbon dioxide. And then that film on top, that's just a film of yeast and bacteria. Now, even if you skim this off, it'll come back. So I just leave it alone. Now, we're gonna let this go for another 2 weeks. And then we're gonna take it out and bottle it. I'll show you exactly how to do everything. But I just want everybody to realize what these look like and do not be afraid. The only time you need to be afraid is if there's any kind of black stuff in here. If there's black stuff, toss it, start over again. I've never had that happen myself. But this is safe, good to eat, and healthy. So homemade fermented pepper sauce. This is what it looks like in 2 weeks. Do not be afraid. And I can't wait to show you guys how to bottle this stuff and get it ready to rock. See you guys in 2 weeks. It's been a month now. And we're gonna make the peppers now. We're gonna bottle them. First we gotta check out what they look like. And remember, if there's anything black, if there's anything hairy on here, throw it away. But it's gotta look kind of like, it's gonna look like this if it's good. Woo-wee! Funky, funky, funky. Now, what we're gonna do is separate the peppers and everything from the brine. So I have a strainer, and then I've got a bowl. I'm just gonna pour it in here because we need a little bit of the brine to make the sauce. All right, so the first thing we need to do is get peppers into your blender, food processor, whatever. I happen to have a Vitamix. Now this is a 64-ounce container. We're probably gonna have to take 2 fills of this container to get to the full amount of peppers we have. So I'm just gonna scoop some into the Vitamix. This is like intensely funky. Now, once you have this stuff bottled, you wanna think about storage. If you leave it in your refrigerator, it'll slowly ferment. It'll, over time, it won't be anything crazy. If you leave it out of your refrigerator, the fermentation process will keep on going. That's what I do, and it just gets funkier and funkier and funkier as the month goes on. So, looks like we might be able to fill all of this into the Vitamix. We have a full blender. We're gonna take a little bit of brine. We need some liquid in here. All right, so let's get this process started. Turning these fermented peppers into a sauce. So we want to make sure that we do not overheat this stuff. There's live bacteria and yeast in here, and we want to keep those alive. If this gets too hot, it'll kill everything. But we want to keep things fresh in here. Now I have a little bit of peppers left, and I'm going to put these peppers and top this thing off. Ooh, it's pretty full. We have just a little bit of garlic and onions left to put in here. We want all that garlic, we want all of the onions in there. All right, let's start over again. So we have a squeeze bottle, because I think squeeze bottles work best. It's a pretty thick sauce, a funnel. We're just gonna pour it on in. Yeah, ooh, I can smell this funky stuff. Ooh. Okay, you know what? Got some pork rinds sitting right here. Let's try this funky sauce. Put the top on. Okay. Is 1 month's time worth it? Let's find out. Yeah. So, fermenting hot sauce does take a little bit of time. You can go as little as a week, you can go as long as you want, but it is awesome on anything you have. We're talking about eggs, hash, anything, tacos, pork rinds even. But I completely recommend trying your fermented hot sauce and then cooking with it. Guys, I appreciate the time today. Welcome again to Cooking with Bruce. See you guys again at the next episode. Like and comment. And while you're at it, subscribe. Episode 25. How many knives does this guy fucking have? 3,